discussed Keefe D. Keefe D was the guy who is in prison right now because he just couldn't keep his mouth closed about the Tupac situation. He was allegedly the person behind the trigger or in the car at the time. And as we all know, there is no what's the word I'm looking for with murder. There's no where you statute of limitations. Thank you. So he's on live TV. He's on all these platforms, just talking and talking and talking. But Tupac murder suspect Keefe D is left high and dry despite past generosity to former gang allies. That's the title of this article. They're saying that he can't come up with $80,000 needed, which is 10% of his bail. You guys do the math, 80 times 10, and that no one is helping him out, even though he allegedly made the ultimate sacrifice and took another man, Tupac's life. Comment on that, Lonzo, specifically, and talk to these kids out there who think their homies are going to be there for them when they get locked up. My ride or die, that's my dog. He's always going to be there for me, man.
STUPID. Stupid. Okay? Stupid. When you start, anybody that starts passing him money is going to find themselves on the list of potential for potential investigation. Think about that. When you start bailing people out of jail, folks want to know who it is. Are they a relative? Especially if you ain't related to them. Why are you getting them out of jail? Where you get the money from? All that becomes a factor, Doc. If you ever seen Jackie Brown, when Samuel L. Jackson goes to get Smokey, or not Smokey, he wasn't Smokey that time. Chris Tucker out of jail first time, he went in there with cash. Okay, he went to a bail bombing because he didn't want to be asking a bunch of questions. Okay, so first of all, you don't. It ain't just the cash. You got to have something of value to put up for the other 90%. All right, they're not gonna let you walk out of jail for 10% without having secured the other 90%. The bond is just the bond is something that makes you committed to them. All right. Now, the 10% of that bond, the 10% you don't get that back. Yeah, no, you don't. Do you get that back? Hold on. Do you get the 10%? No, you don't get the 10%
back.
That's
a good question. I don't think you do. No,
that's money gone. Now you get the 90%. The release on the property goes away. I have bailed people out before. Small shit, $10,000 bail. Come up with $1,000. He had the $1,000. I had to put the house up. When he got out of jail, they freed the lien on my house, but the $1,000 was gone. But when I went to jail, I bailed myself. I funded my partner the money to get me out, and that was just money gone. If I'd have stayed in jail another 2 or 3 hours, I wouldn't have had to post bail, but I didn't want to stay. I'm a buster like that. I don't want to get used to this shit. So So if somebody got $80,000 to give away, that's the whole thing. Who got $80,000 to give away? Who put you? Where were they at all this time? When you did your crime, what you do with all that money? And that's the part that most criminals are very disrespectful. When you commit a crime and you get away with it, or if you plan on getting away with it and don't get away with it, did you plan on giving me some money? But when your ass got caught, you're the first one to call. Okay? Now, I know guys that have done shit, got away with it, spent the money, and when they got caught, they called everybody around. Now, you spent all the money. You ain't gave nobody nothing to hold for you. You might take them to the club or something like that. Okay, fine. But now the rubber hit the road, and all of a sudden you need to get a shitload of money. You ain't got it, and ain't nobody gonna give it to you because it don't make no sense. It almost don't make no sense. Why am I getting involved in this at this point when you did not include me in you didn't, hey man, hold this for me. But most cats do. If you're smart, hold this for me. Somebody that's responsible, grandma, auntie, uncle, so-and-so, put this away for me in case I get caught up. Dudes don't do that. They spend all the money, and then when they have all the fun and something happens, somebody snitch, all of a sudden, I need X amount of dollars, you ain't got it. And if you're going to do a crime and your folks ain't got no money, think about this. If you do a crime and get caught up, who could afford to bail you out? Let's say, who got $5,000? Bail $50,000. Who got $5,000 in a house? Gotta have both of them. If mama living in an apartment building, you probably ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, when I was younger, I can't name one person. Now I can name a few, but when I was younger, I can name one motherfucker.
If your bail is 100,000, you need 10,000. Who you know that love you enough, put up their property, because if you decide to run, that house goes to the bail's bond. And they need 10 grand cash. And they need 10 grand cash. Think about it, folks. This is why they passed a law to cancel the bail policy, because so many people was getting caught up, and the judge would just throw a bail on your ass just to keep you from leaving, make you responsible coming back to court. But if you ain't got nobody with no money or no property, you can't make bail, which means you can't go home. You're gonna lose your apartment, your job, your car. You come out, you're gonna be homeless. Oh, DA reject. You already ruined. Your life is already ruined. Somebody else boning your girl, your car gone, your house gone. You gotta pull up, get you a box next to somebody else. Come on, man. And that's one reason why they stopped the whole bail system in California. That's one of the reasons why they stopped doing it, because too many people was losing everything based on a bunch of trumped up charges. And when you go get your bail hearing, they ain't proved nothing. They just said you did it. They ain't proved. That's not a trial. Anybody said, "Hey man, I wasn't even there." Nope. What did you plead? Not guilty. Guilty. Okay, fine. Bail is set at X amount of dollars based on the crime. Well, I didn't do nothing. Well, come back in 3-4 months when we got time to start the trial. Dude, you won't have shit when you come out. That's real talk.
Marlon has the best response to this ever. Marlon Cozy says, "I couldn't afford to get in trouble."
Dude, 2 things you can't afford to do: get in trouble and get sick. If you get sick, you in trouble. If you get sick, you in trouble.
That is so true, Lonzo. That's the messed up part.
Dude, that's why I run, I walk. I had to go, my cousin around the corner from me. I had to borrow one of his tools. I walked my ass around the corner and picked it up and brought it back home, man. Nah, man, there's some shit you just got to do for yourself, and just, try and keep your ass out of jail, not the hospital. If you can manage, if you can walk that thin line and stay out of jail and the hospital, you got action.
Yeah, I pray that for everybody, man. That is about as real as it gets, Lonzo. We're about halfway through the show, so let me remind everybody to hit that like button if you haven't already.